All right, so self-discipline comes after group discipline. You can see this at work in the world when you take soldiers, Marines, Navy SEALs, and you see that they don't first teach them self-discipline. The sergeant's like, all right, I want you to be like all by yourself, accountable to no one, and I want you to teach yourself to go through obstacle courses, get 4 hours of sleep a night, shoot weapons, say, sir, yes, sir, every time, just do all the difficult stuff, and then come back to me. No, of course not. You need other people. You need group discipline. It's not just someone disciplining you one-on-one. Of course, you can do that. That's like the martial arts master and his apprentice. Yes, but you need someone to do it to you. But also, the way it works in a military, it works so well, is it's a group. Other people are disciplined alongside you. And you have group motivation, group discipline, group identity. That not just I am a soldier, we are soldiers. We keep each other accountable as soldiers. If it's just me and my sergeant, well then I might be able to hide something from my sergeant. Like, I'm only a soldier as long as my sergeant is around. And maybe if you have a good relationship with your sergeant, you're a martial arts master, whatever, you're a teacher, then maybe, you really adopt that identity. But it's so much better and easier when there's everyone around you all telling you, oh look, you're a soldier. You're wearing the uniform. I expect you to act like a soldier. We act pretty much how we're expected to act. How we expect ourselves to act and how others expect us to act. That's our identity. The narrative that we tell about ourselves, oh, I am a lazy bum. And someone else says, you are a lazy bum. Guess what? Everyone expects you to act like a lazy bum, you and the other guy. That's your identity. That's how you're going to act. But if you're like, I'm a lazy bum, so it says, no, you aren't. You're actually quite diligent. You're just in a rut right now. Or, etc. Then it's kind of a 50-50. Of course, if your narrative is, strong and, you've been this way for a long time, then your identity as a lazy bum may be more solid. But him telling you, no, that's not who you are, at least helps. Here's an example. When I was a bit younger, my older brother said, do you brush your teeth a lot? Your teeth look very white. I'm impressed how white your teeth are. I'm like, no, I don't brush my teeth a lot. It's like once a day, if that. But guess what I did? I went and started brushing my teeth. And every day after that, I started brushing my teeth. Why? Because it's what he expected of me. And it wasn't me thinking, oh, like, I'm going to do this for him. It was identity. He told me, oh, this is your identity. You're someone who brushes your teeth. And I was like, wow, okay, I like that identity. Let's go. Because he told it. If he told me, oh, you never brush your teeth are so dirty, that likely would not have motivated me at all. Even though if he's like, you should go brush your teeth, but you're not the kind of person who does, the identity is what matters. The identity that people say. If everyone tells you, you're so diligent, you work so well, and that's everyone else's narrative of your identity, you are so much more likely to do it than if everyone says, you're a bum, you're a loser, you'll never amount to anything. You realize how destructive that is to tell someone? You tell someone what they ought to be. You treat a man as he ought to be, and you make him better. You treat a man as he appears to be, you make him worse. You treat him as he ought to be, and you make him very much better. That caterpillar came back. Get off. He looks just like a piece of wood. Okay, it's one of those like brown ones. Like really dark brown, like gray brown, like the color of trees, like gray brown. Okay, so back to this. That's why you need a narrative for yourself, your own personal identity, and you need other people telling you the same narrative around you, and nice to return the favor and tell them their narrative back. And you all act on it and push each other and hold each other accountable. And that is where motivation is. You can play life. And then at that point, you can go on and collect your 3 pillars and get your freedom, power, and status. And other people are not only supporting you and encouraging you, but they're sharing in it with you. And like, dude, good job. You got a car. Finally, you're 24 and you don't have a car and you don't know how to drive. It's like, oh, you got a car. Good for you. Oh, you got a better job. Like I knew you would. I told you would. I've been spending the last few weeks telling you, you're more diligent than you have acted. Who you actually are, you're diligent, and you're a protagonist, and you can do this, and you will do this. I'm confident you will. This is the kind of person you are. They tell you that. And enough people tell you that you get up and you go do it, and you're also telling yourself that. You already did your self-authoring, and you wrote it down. I am a diligent person. I'm going to be a diligent person. This is who I am. I'm going to be. Who I have been in my past, way over here, has been a lazy bum. That's not who I am now. I am choosing that from now on I will be a diligent person. And that means from this moment on, I am a diligent person. Watch. And everyone else in your group, in your party says, yes, you are diligent, for example. And then you start to do it. And that's where your motivation comes in. That's it. If you're wondering, how do I get my motivation? I'm living this terrible life. It's like, well, you look at yourself and you have a big old belly. It's like, well, that's what you're wearing. That tells you that you're a lazy bum. You're sitting on, your bed in your messy room. That tells you you're a lazy bum. Your mom walks in, your overweight siblings walk in, and they say, hey, you want to, go out for pizza? They're telling you you're overweight, you're a lazy bum. Well, that's their narrative. And what do you tell yourself? I'm such a... You tell yourself, I'm such a lazy piece of trash. Look at me, I never did anything I want to do. I'm so lame. Well, you're telling yourself you're a lazy bum. Man. What do you think you're going to do? You're going to keep being a lazy bum. It's just what happens. So, find new narrative where, visually see that you are different. Comb your hair, whatever. Clean your room, change your environment, tell your narrative, remind yourself of your narrative, put it on the walls. Guess what? In Skyrim and in every RPG ever, what does the main hero have? A journal. Quest journal. Yeah, all the people, all the people that are saying, oh, I've journaled for 5 years and it's the best, long-term habit I've ever had. If I, could, it's the one thing I would never give up. It's journaling. Yeah, well, that's because that's a protagonist action. You need to have a journal, and you need to tell yourself your narrative in your journal. It's not so much about keeping track of all your habits. That's like a heads-up display, an inventory, where you're looking at all of your different abilities and all the things you've collected and all the things you're doing. That's okay. But you need a quest journal with yes, all your quests, but an identity journal. You need to and it can all be in one. But yeah, you need your journal. You need to write down your narrative. Write it down daily if you want. When you need to. When you're at the early stage of life and you need to write down your. I don't mean early stage of chronological life, but early stage of this journey of the hero's journey, being a protagonist. When you're in the early parts, write it down every single day. Go ahead if you want. It's not something you have to do. I'm not giving you more habits to list 1, 2, 3. It's not about doing the habits that makes you a protagonist. It's about the mindset, the identity, the role playing. You want to role play the character you want to be. You want to pretend to be him until you become him. And guess what? You will become him very quickly, because what does it mean to actually be a person? It means you act like him, talk like him, think like him, right? Well, just role play that person. Act like him, talk like him, think like him. There you go. You are the person now. You're not faking anymore. As soon as you do it, now it's real. Because we humans have the ability to be whatever we want. If you start role-playing a character and it feels inauthentic, and oh, I'm not really this person, I'm pretending to be confident, or I'm pretending to be smart, or I'm pretending to, be someone who works out, it's well, are you working out? Then you're someone who works out. Are you, confident? When you pretend to be confident, it's no different from being confident. It's the same thing, because everyone who's actually confident, they're pretending to be. What does pretending mean? Means choosing to act like it, regardless of any other circumstances. If you choose to go work out, regardless of any other circumstances, well, then you're working out. You're someone who works out. If you choose to, apply for that job and not worry about being rejected, well, then you're confident. I mean, it's not that, you have to not fear it or not have any apprehension. That's not what confidence is. Confidence is just doing it anyway. Now you're confident. Looky there, because you acted it. So just role play who you want to be. It's amazing. When you role play who you want to be, you just decide, I'm going to be this person. Whether I currently am or not, or whether I have been. That's the big thing. When people say, oh, this is inauthentic, this isn't me, I'm role playing, I'm pretending. What are they looking at? Are they saying this isn't who they currently are? Well, no, it is who they currently are because they're currently doing it. What they're really saying is, this isn't who I used to be. This isn't who I have been in the past. Well, guess what? Whatever we're going to be in the future isn't what we have been in the past. So, by definition, we're being inauthentic or fake. That's what it means to change. Like, if role-playing a new identity, if deciding to be different, deciding to change, deciding to level up in life, deciding to be not a loser anymore, if that is somehow inauthentic and a bad thing, then no one would ever change. As soon as someone started messing up and started down a wrong road, well, sorry, they're stuck there forever because that's who they really are. And if they're going to be authentic, then they have to stay that way. And if they ever change, which is just role-playing, when you decide to act differently than you've always acted, that's just role-playing. And it's also called changing and improving yourself. Then it's like, oh, well, you're being inauthentic. It's like, no, that's not. Like, whatever I decide to be is my authentic me. Whatever I have been in the past is irrelevant. Totally irrelevant. I could be this thing one day and this thing another day, and they're both authentic because I was being both things. You don't have this one set identity that's what you've been in the past and that's who you are. No more than what you do in the future is who you are. They're all who you are because that's who you are in the moment. Turkeys. All right, probably gonna cut it there for today and keep going with the rest of this. There's definitely more to say. We get into the more nitty-gritty details of what it looks like to play the game day to day. Like you have been given an overall, concept, a conceptual basis of what it's like to play. But then there's the actual, like, here's how you roll the dice and add this modifier, right? It's the very specific. By the numbers, and that will come later. But for now, feed the algorithm, like, subscribe, comment. Thank you for watching this, watching me when I just barely started YouTube and don't have a script or even editing or lighting or anything fancy. Thank you for actually just watching it and tolerating the low production when there's so much on YouTube that's super high production, 4K, all that stuff, and you're like, no, I'm just going to watch the guy because he has something to say and I'm interested. Thank you very much, and for commenting and for boosting it all up. And if you want to join my party, feel free to drop a comment and give me your Discord, and we'll see if we can help each other do that. It's called accountability partners, but it's so much cooler. And you get so much more motivation when you're like, I'm a hero and this is my party member and we're fighting in life to fulfill our destiny. It's like, it's narrative. Narrative is so bloody important. I know we're going past the 11-minute mark, but narrative is inspiring. It's why when you watch 300 or Braveheart, you can cry. I cried the other day watching 300 again, because it's like, that's who we are. That's who we're meant to be. That's the narrative. And so if you have an accountability partner to make sure you go work out, well, that's useful to have someone else tell your narrative, hey, you're someone who works out, or I'm gonna, kick you in the rear if you don't work out. That's cool, that's okay. But to have the narrative that, no, we are heroes, conquering darkness, and we're pretty cool. We're heroes. We're living life and fighting and gaining our freedom, power, and status, and this is cool. That's so much more inspiring, so much more motivating. You want motivation? What if you were playing Skyrim, right? And you just see these, just squares, there's red squares, and those are enemies. And you walk up, and you're just a yellow square, and you click your button, and the red square disappears. Well, that's power, yeah. I beat him. I beat the red square. But it's not cool. You wouldn't want to play that game. You like it when your character actually looks like a, cool dragonborn, and the enemies are like bandits and dragons, and you slay it, and you see them die, and you see the blood. You see the visuals and stuff, sure, but it's about the narrative. You're not just a thing defeating other things. It's not just an accountability partner. It's like, no, you are a hero. You're a protagonist. You're a dragonborn. And what are you fighting? You're fighting procrastination. Well, no, you're fighting a bandit. That's procrastination. He's trying to steal your time from you. When you defeat procrastination, you just killed a bandit. You took his gold. Yeah. It's a narrative. Oh, instead of being like, oh, here's your accountability partner. It's like, no, this is my party member. He's a fighter. I'm a wizard. That's who we are. And we dress the part. I don't mean you have to wear a pointy hat, but we dress the part as protagonists, and we're living life. and we're accomplishing missions and goals and purposes. And it's not, I am a businessman and I like to work out to have a steady physique, and I eat a good diet so that I would live long, and also I make a certain amount of money. And these are all things that one does in a well-functioning society. It's like, no, I'm a hero, I'm a protagonist. You have to tell a narrative that is inspiring to you, not something that bores your earlobes off. You have to be inspired. It has to be like, this is cool. I can be this. Because guess what? You know that you have to do that. You know that that is what motivates you because it's what you currently escape to. When you go and play Skyrim, why? Why do you do that? Because you want a compelling narrative. You want an interesting narrative. You want to be a hero in a fantasy land with dragons. You want that. That's why you play the game. So why do you go to real life and you're like, I want to be just as motivated to live real life as I am to play the game? Well, then you need to take that narrative of being a fantasy hero and you put it in real life. Otherwise, that game will always look more attractive. Because in the game, you get to be a fantasy hero. In real life, you're just a businessman who maintains a certain number of habits. That's not inspiring. That's not. Then you're a computer. No. It has to be inspiring. Me, my title, I am the Hortator. That's what I go by. That's what I tell people I am. I'm the Hortator. Yes, my name is Matthias. But who I am, like, this is my title. That's why we like titles. That's why in games you get titles and stuff. You are the champion of Cyrodiil. You are the Nerevarine. You are the Dragonborn. We like that. Give yourself a title, one that's real. After you've gone through Slave and you've earned the title, go ahead and give yourself the title. This is who I am. Adopt that narrative and make it compelling and inspiring and cool, and not, oh, I'm Jim. Yeah, Jim, Bob, and I have a purpose to do these things. Yeah. I go, no. My purpose to save the children is to save them from the clutches of the demons, of the monsters, of the dragons that want to eat them. I'm going to slay the dragons and adopt the kids or foster them and help them. That's my narrative. And it's bloody inspiring. And I'm going to go do it because I will feel cool doing it. And if you look at that and you're like, well, that looks a little immature, looks a little childish, telling yourself that you're a hero slaying dragons. It's like, can't we have a more adult and mature narrative? Well, go ahead. See how that serves you. See if you're motivated to pursue an adult, mature narrative. Bet you aren't. And maybe when you're 60, you won't need, fantasy narrative. But for now, when you're young and you play games like this that have the narratives, and that's what you feel drawn towards, take it and put it in your life. And don't be ashamed. Don't feel childish. Don't feel silly. And we can help you not feel silly when you have a party and they're all telling you the narrative. Well, then you don't really feel silly because everyone's doing it, right? We only feel silly when we're the only one. Yeah, that's it. Ooh, big long video. Thank you so much for watching. And again, like and subscribe and feed the algorithm and all that stuff. Goodbye, and Lord be with you.